Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the TATI Beauty Textured Neutrals Volume 1 palette. The fact that it's called Volume 1 suggests rather strongly that there are going to be future volumes, and in fact I was reading an article saying that Tati has stated she's going to be releasing a quote-unquote game changer on Black Friday. No idea what that's going to be, whether it's another eyeshadow palette, lips, whatever, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to seeing what she has in store for us. So, the Textured Neutrals palette, or as I'm just going to refer to it, the Tati palette. This retails for $48 US on the Tati Beauty website. When I ordered it, I paid, I think it was $6.95 in shipping, and I am 90 to about 95% sure that that also included the VAT or the import duties and all of that kind of thing. So converting it to Canadian, it was roughly about $82 for shipping the palette, the whole deal. Now, the packaging. Let's talk about it. Quite minimalistic. You've got the nice black outer packaging, Tati Beauty on the front, as you can see, and then there's just a little bit of additional information down on the back. Volume 1 is just stated in the corner here, and it has that almost rubberized feel that I associate with NARS packaging. It doesn't really show fingerprints or anything like that, and I quite like the feel of it. It also comes with a little like slip cardboard outer packaging here that you can slide it in. This has the exact same feel on the outside as the palette does. I don't really think that I'll end up keeping this simply because it's just an additional step that is largely unnecessary. So I mention it, but I probably won't be keeping it. It does have a very strong magnetic clasp, so you don't really need that outer packaging to hold the palette together. Now, onto the inside, and I'm pretty sure everybody's already seen what this layout looks like, but you're gonna see it again from me. So there is a very large mirror on the palette. It's the entire width of the palette, and then there are the shadows there. So there are 24 shadows. You can tell obviously by the title of the palette, Textured Neutrals, it is a very neutral palette, and the textured part comes from the fact that you have a row of mattes, a row of more satiny shades, more metallic shades, and then a row of pressed glitters at the top. I, for one, love the layout of this. I love the grouping. I love that it's just very aesthetically pleasing. I really appreciate this. Obviously I can work with palettes that are a bit more of a hodgepodge, but I don't enjoy that. I find that it just creates unnecessary challenge for me, at any rate. When it's grouped out this way, all the textures are the same across, and then this color story is going up. My like slightly OCD brain really appreciates this because it's just cohesive, it's organized, and it just makes sense. By contrast, the new Norvina palettes from ABH, I just find that they look like a jumbled mess. The colors individually are very pretty, but when they're put into the palette in the way that they are, it's too hard for me to access it. Like it's off-putting to me, whereas this is almost soothing to my sensibilities. Moving on to the performance of these, I'm going to do this in the same way that I do a lot of my eyeshadow palette reviews. I'm going to show you some swatches, and then I also have 2 look demonstrations, including the look that I'm wearing today. I didn't do them as any sort of voiceover or anything like that, but I'm going to share my thoughts with you in terms of my experience with the palette thus far, and then we'll maybe just put on some music and go for the rest of it. So, the glitters. Let's start with the top row. So the glitters are a pressed glitter. There is coconut oil in with that to help them stick into the pan. I would highly recommend using a glitter glue. Regardless of what kind of base it has going on in there, a glitter glue is really just going to help keep everything where it is that you want it to be. In the first look that you'll see In this video, I used this one over here, which is Aura Glitter. And by the end of the day, I did have some specks down on my cheek, but really not an awful lot. And I credit a lot of that to the glitter glue that I used. Going into the next row here, the metallics. These are very beautiful. They're not super high impact. So if you're looking for something with a truly metallic sheen to it, these are not quite to that degree. That's not to say that they're not beautiful in and of themselves, because they are, but they're not that same kind of foiled look that you might get from, say, a MAC foiled shadow or something of that nature. So I just want to put that out there. The sequins row down here, if I bring it in closer, you can see where it's getting its name from. There are little bits of shimmer in there. My favorite in the row is this purple one over here, because the shimmer is almost like duochromatic in there. It's really, really pretty. I have this shade right here, which is Story Sequins, all over my lid. And I have to say that, at least this is the first time I've used that shade, I was disappointed. Not that it doesn't have good color payoff, because it does, but there is a ton of gold shimmer running throughout it in the pan. I'm hoping that the camera can pick it up. And when you pick it up in the brush, there's that gold shimmer. And you kind of tap off the excess, and seemingly all of that shimmer just disappears. Because when I look on my lid, I mean, you can see it right now, but you'll see as we get into the demonstration of this eye look, as I applied it, there was no shimmer. It just looked like a matte shadow. So what you're seeing in terms of shimmer here is I picked up some of this shade here, which is one of the metallics, and just patted that on the center to give that sort of blingy look that I was going for. So I'm disappointed in that, because when I used this one here in a previous look, I didn't have that same experience. It was very shimmery and very, I'll use the word glittery, but it's not a glitter, if that makes sense. Maybe micro glitter might be more appropriate. It's not obviously to the same degree as what's up here, but you could definitely see those bits of shimmer running throughout the shadow, whereas with this orange, not so much. So I'm going to continue playing around with it. Maybe a different technique in terms of application might help with that. If you have this palette and you are able to get the gold shimmer to show up, please let me know down below what method it is that you're using, because it's such a beautiful, beautiful shadow and unlike anything else that I have in my collection. But unfortunately, at least today when I applied it, it just looked very, very similar to the matte underneath it. Now, in terms of the mattes, I haven't had an opportunity to use all of them yet. So I just want to be upfront about that. There's only two that I haven't used. So when I'm looking at it, I haven't used the black yet, and I haven't used this creamy shadow here, with the exception of using it to set eyeshadow primer, but I have used all the rest of them. They're very pigmented. There is no streakiness, no difficulty in building them up. They blend out beautifully. This pink one here, it's not a look that's in this video, but I did it for work earlier this week, and I was able to just blend it out into almost like a sheer wash of color, just using a very light hand dipping into the pan. These aren't powdery, they don't produce a ton of kick up. There is some, but it's nothing worth writing home about. And they don't create like a bunch of fallout going down onto your cheeks. So the mattes, beautiful to work with. So those are the shadows sort of in a nutshell. What I can say is the shadows last very well throughout the day. So I'm not finding that the metallics are sort of just disappearing, which sometimes happens with metallics. By the end of the day, you're like, I think you were shiny at one point, but now you're kind of naked. That's not what's happening with this palette. The mattes don't become patchy. They don't, smudge off. Sometimes I've found with palettes that if I use multiple colors, by the end of the day, it's just this like amorphous blob of blah on my eyes. Everything just kind of blends into itself throughout the day. These ones remain distinct, and they're just beautiful shadows. Like I said, the glitter remained on my eyelids, so that's very helpful. It didn't like bunch up in the crease of my eyelid. It stayed exactly where I put it. Again, I used a glitter glue, and I would highly recommend that you do so. So overall, I am very impressed with this palette, and I am very excited to see what else she comes out with and what kind of color stories she releases, and whether or not she branches off into lip products or cheek products or anything like that. I'm very excited about this brand. I love everything about this palette, to be honest. I love the color story. I love the minimalist packaging. I love how functional the packaging is. The fact that it like folds all the way back, I just really appreciate that in a palette. I just find it easier to work with. I love how strong that magnetic clasp is. I like the whole thing. It's very sleek, chic. It's not going to take up a ton of room when you're trying to store it. If you do get additional palettes as they come out, they're clearly labeled on the edge, so you can put them in a drawer standing up, and as you're looking, you know this is volume 1. I just find all of those kind of things very thoughtful and very helpful as a consumer and as a makeup hoarder, because I can pretty much guarantee, as long as I like the color story, obviously, but if she comes out with another palette, I will purchase it because I'm really impressed with the quality of this one. Okay, so that is all I really need to say about the palette in and of itself. So why don't we get into swatches, and then we'll just go straight into the 2 eye looks, and then I will be back to wrap this up. This is Memory Glitter. It's a multi-dimensional smoky charcoal. Next is Memory Metallic, a gunmetal with a silvery shimmer. Memory Sequin. It's a carbon black with multicolored pinpoints. And Memory Matte, described as a carbon black. Ritual Glitter, a multi-dimensional warm bronze. Ritual Metallic, chocolate bronze shimmer. Ritual Sequin, it's a warm bronze with gold pinpoints. And Ritual Matte, a rich chocolate. Story Glitter, it's a multi-dimensional burnt orange. Story Metallic, a bright nectarine with gold shimmer. Story Sequin, burnt orange with gold pinpoints. And Story Matte, a burnt orange. Soothe Glitter, multi-dimensional champagne gold. Soothe Metallic, a warm champagne gold shimmer. Soothe Sequin, camel with gold pinpoints. And Soothe Matte, camel. Aura Glitter, a multicolored frosted champagne. Aura Metallic, champagne shimmer. Aura Sequin, described as a vanilla with fuchsia pinpoints. And Aura Matte, vanilla. Poet Glitter, multi-dimensional frosted raspberry. Poet Metallic, a soft ruby shimmer. Poet Sequin, cranberry with blue pinpoints. And Poet Matte, a cranberry. Now, with the swatches out of the way, let's get straight into the eye looks. Here's the first one.
I think I might be hooked on you. I love just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be. You make me anxious. I think I might be stuck on you. I love the things you did for me. For me, it seems like you're dropping clues. There's no need to rush, so let's just take our time. Dropping everything, 'cause you're stuck on my mind. So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be. Oh, we were meant to be. Oh, we were meant to be. Oh, we were meant to be. So just sit with me, talking through the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think you were meant to be with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be.
And now on to look number 2.
Waking up in my bed, you're still stuck in my head. I'm not even hungover. I wanna call your phone, tell you what you did wrong, then ask you to come over. Not very good with decisions, know what's right, but I don't listen, I don't. And I complain and dismiss it, then I keep on reminiscing. I know. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad for business. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad for business. Baby, you're bad for business. Not good with consequence. I found myself back again, crying on your shoulder. No, it's not good for me, but I still want your body. So dumb, but it's not over. Not very good with decisions, know what's right, but I don't listen, I don't. And I complain and dismiss it, then I keep on reminiscing. I know. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad for business. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad. Baby, you're bad for business. Baby, you're bad.
Alright guys, and there you have it. The swatches, the eye looks. I am really excited to play around some more with this palette, particularly this dark row. I haven't really played around with that one yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of super dark smoky eyes I can create with it. and this glitter in particular up here is really calling my name. So looking forward to playing some more, but I did want to get my review up just to share not quite my initial thoughts, but my early thoughts about this palette with you. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, which, I mean, there's no time like the present, better late than never, this palette has sold out. That in and of itself, not surprising. However, there is a pre-order available now, and if you do pre-order, the guaranteed shipping date is December 15th. So if you're looking to give this to yourself as a Christmas gift or give it to a makeup lover in your life, now is the time to pre-order. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now. Would you like to say hi to yourself on the camera? You gotta put that down. Is it just here? Right here.
Is that mommy?
There.
Is that mommy?
It's a microphone.
I touch it.
Oh, you touch it. Can you say hi to yourself?
Hi.
Who's the best?
Mom Bennett.
Mom Bennett. All right, away you go. Away you go. Take your drink.
Hi.
And out there, please. Careful, careful.
Come on,
Watch where
upstairs
you're
we
going to
go.
be so sticky. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got Luna in here too. We got the whole fam family.